Okay, now what we're going to do is talk about like cognition definition that comes out of this. This is it. It's that operation of the mind process by which we become aware of objects of thought and perception, including all aspects of perceiving, thinking, and remembering. Cognitive. That's it. That's it whatsoever. That's all you get. And remember, over here we get this. Definition of cognition.
Here's the definition of cognition. The mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and the senses.
But what is the thoughts and the senses and knowledge directed at? There we go. What is it? What is it though? It's developed around all that. It's developed around technology. It's developed around tech and gadgets. And I could go on and write the same stuff. Listen, this is like literally impossible for somebody to. We're going to read some out of this book, Spiritual Beings and the Heavenly Bodies and the Kingdoms of Nature. Of nature. And remember, we've already Arimonic intelligence. Just put intel. So when we're looking at plants, insects, trees, anything with life, damn. Nature. There's beings that control that. And see, that's the unseen. Okay, the same way that there's beings that people can't see that God created, literally, it's real. The same way that they control all this is the same way that there's beings, Arimonic beings coming through the tech and the gadgets, destroying the cognition. Let me just give you an example. Let me give you a little more. There we go. Okay, so we already did it. It's like 1,000 hours a year at 3 hours a day. So, of TV. So we don't, and then you can say, well, that's not real because, well, yeah, any time that we're looking at it, that's time at TV. It doesn't matter if you look at this and not TV. See the cognition in you to say, oh, this don't count. And here's the whole thing. When 10,000 hours has literally been uploaded, it's more than that, but we're going to give it a low number. 10,000 hours of nonsense in a child's head. And it's all garbage. But it becomes a reality. And then they grow in and then have children, and then the process just repeats itself. But it says in hidden science, what gradually appears before us in the way described has always been called the elemental world. Hang on. It's not fair for me to just start right there because I know most of you people won't, they don't listen. They won't look. But you need to just start playing certain books and listening. But I'm going to come to you right here, and it says, thus we could let the most varied sense impressions work upon us. We could in this way let all that we perceive in nature through our senses disappear, as it were, so that this sense veil is removed. Then moral feelings of sympathy and antipathy would arise everywhere. If we accustom ourselves in this way to eliminate all that we see with our eyes, or hear with our ears, or that our hands grasp, or that our intellect comprehends, if we eliminate all that and accustom ourselves nevertheless to stand before the world, then there works within us something deeper than the power of vision of our eyes, or the power of hearing of our ears, or the intellectual power of our thinking. We then confront a deeper being of the external world. Then the immensity of infinity works upon us in such a way that we become imbued with a religious mood. Then the green mantle of plants works upon us in such a way that we feel and sense in our inner being something bursting forth spiritually into bloom. That's when we're looking at life, plants, and we can see it, like me. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can't see it until you cut it. I hate fucking reading this shit because it's people around me. It's like, he is crazy, and it is fucking feeding on me. Oh man. Dude, when I'm petting my dog now, y'all have no idea that those lights do. And when you're looking at a dog and its eyes, or an animal, you're looking at a being that controls that life form. And you are so desensitized to the people against us. And anyways, I'm sorry. It says, then the immensity of infinity works upon us in such a way that we become imbued with a religious mood. Then the green mantle of plants works upon us in such a way that we feel and sense in our inner being something bursting forth spiritually into bloom. Then the white robe of snow works upon us in such a way that we gain from it an understanding of what matter is, of what substance is in the world. Then we grasp the world through something deeper within us than we had previously brought into play. In this way, we come to something deeper in the world itself than we otherwise would. Then the external veil of nature is drawn aside, as it were, and we enter into the world that lies behind this external veil. Just as when we look behind the human physical body, we come to the etheric or life body, so in this way we come into a region in which gradually manifold beings disclose themselves. Those beings that live and work behind the mineral, plant, and animal kingdoms. The etheric world gradually appears before us, differentiated in all its details. In esoteric science, hidden. What gradually appears before us in the way described has always been called the elemental world. And you go to elementary school. And those spiritual beings we meet with there, and of whom we have spoken, are the elemental spirits that are hidden behind all that constitutes the physical sense perceptible world. I've already said that whereas the human etheric body is a unity, the etheric world of nature is a plurality, a multiplicity. Since what we perceive is something quite new, how can we then find a way to describe something of what gradually impresses itself upon us from behind external nature? Well, we can do so if by way of comparison we make a connecting link with what is known. In the whole multiplicity that lies behind the physical world, we first find beings that present self-enclosed pictures to spiritual vision. In order to characterize what we find there, first of all, I must refer to something already known. We perceive self-enclosed pictures, beings with definite outlines, of whom we can say that they can be described according to their form and shape. These beings are the class that we find first behind the physical sense perceptible world. We can describe the second class of beings that we find there only if we turn away from what shows itself in set form with a set figure and employ the word metamorphosis or transformation. That is the second phenomenon that presents itself to a spiritual vision. Beings that have definite forms belong to the first class. To the second class belong beings that actually change their shape every moment, who as soon as we meet them and think we have grasped them, immediately change into something else. We can follow these beings only if we make our souls mobile and receptive. Spiritual vision actually only finds the first class of beings, those that have a quite definite form. When starting from such prerequisites as already have been described, it penetrates into the depths of the earth. I have said that we must allow all the works on us in the external world to arouse a moral effect. Okay, here's where I'm going to stop. You go to the book, audio book or whatever. I'm going to end on that sentence. He's saying that we must allow all that works on us in the external world to arouse a moral effect. Listen, for example, I'm going to continue. One can raise the blue of the heavens, the green of the plants, and the white of the snow to moral impressions. That's out there. But see, moral impressions and cognition now comes from that, which is a being, Ahrimanic being. This, it's not real. The world's not real. It's crazy. People just are insane. And it says, let us now suppose that we penetrate into the inner part of the earth. We accompany miners into the depths of the earth. We cannot at first so school our eyes that our sight is transformed into a moral impression. But with our feeling sense, we notice warmth, differentiated degrees of warmth. We must first feel the warmth, the physical impression of nature, when we go down into the realm of the depths of the earth. If we contemplate these differences of warmth, these fluctuations of temperature, and ignore or eliminate all that otherwise works on our senses because we are going underground, then in feeling ourselves united with what is working there, we have a definite experience. If we then disregard everything that produces an impression, if we exert ourselves while down there to feel nothing, not even the differences of warmth that were only a preparatory stage for us, if we try to see something, hear nothing, but let the impression so affect us that something moral emerges from our soul, then there arises before our spiritual vision those creative nature beings who, for the esotericists, are really active in everything belonging to the earth. They are working especially in everything the nature of metal, and they now present themselves to imaginative knowledge in sharply defined forms of the most varied kinds. And look, these beings now, they're godly, but they're not of nature. And they make fun of people like the beings now, okay? You got to throw away doo-doo brains. All right, there's black magic and white magic. It's real. It's beyond real. There's black magic makes people sit there and program themselves 20,000 hours, 30, 40,000, 50. Remember, Ahriman is all of that information in a brain. When you challenge 50,000 hours in the brain, do you think they're going to listen to nonsense? That's all that's in there. Because all of it has been designed from day one by Ahriman. Really, Lucifer. Lucifer controls this because we got to go way back. There's like been a battle going on the other side. And every time these Ahrimanic forces have challenged, because you get into this deep shit, even Blavatsky, like there is like real Harry Potter God shit, like heaven and hell shit going on the other side. What you see here is an image of the other side. It's a reflection. And it's the real shit too. It's beyond real. Like everything that you see, all those plant life and everything, all the animal forms, those are in the zodiac. What's in here more than anything? Animals. What gives them instinct? It's their astral body. You have an astral body, but you have an ether body too. But the whole point is look, to fucking create people, to make them look down, you're challenging 50,000 hours. So the cognition in them is not, it's a medical term, but this is the real definition of it. This right here, what they are, this is garbage. They're just a fucking program. That's it. Everything in them is it's the definition of that is everything that they are programmed around everything that we've had up here, and not none of this stuff. It's instead of life forms, which would be beings, godly. Instead, we have shit that tells you. These give you impulses right here. Trust me. And that does. But now we're generations into this shit, so it's not stopping. It's going to collapse eventually, like literally. We said it a long fucking time ago. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. I just wanted to stop drinking and look at where we are. Because I've told people, I'm like, y'all ain't dealing with the Matt that y'all thought y'all knew at one time. Everybody that turned their backs on me only built this. Because I've been trained, taught. I didn't have to pay for this. I had to go through hell, but that's my journey. But it's when you learn how to not get upset and go to the books and then just read. Before you know it, time's gone. But you got to force yourself into it and then learn how to read stuff, because certain things was given to me, because some things I can pick up on real quick. Now, I don't know all the words, names, and I'm not on like fire as far as when it comes to knowing everything about the Zodiac and all this other shit, and the world controllers. I can show you what they're doing. I can tell you how they designed it. I can even show you how it's all set up around blood worship. Yeah. But people they're like movie brains. They're like, he is fucking crazy. And truthfully, I think I need to try to do a video at least and tell you like what they did and how. I can just give you a preview. It's the people are so dumb. They've grown up generationally into some bullshit. I know that, and impulse is there. So if somebody needs to be taken out, it's very easy for them to be taken out. And if they want to make a big fucking stink out of it and make it stick and flush them, they created the morgues. They created the cemeteries. They created everything, the birth certificates. Okay? So when experts come to town, the stupid goy, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. You can go to the goy with so much evidence and they are so dumb. And you can go, they took them out. I am the president around here, and those are the fucking experts coming in? Yeah. Those are the big boys that I tell y'all about. That's the thing is nobody questions the chain of authority. That's how they've been ingrained with that cognition from day one. Well, not anymore. The generation coming up now is just fucking rude as shit. It's everybody's Ariman. But like this Ariman coming now is fucking ruthless and doesn't give a shit about you, me, or nothing. And think about it. By the time that any child now is 20, you need to think about their fucking brain. And then psychiatry, y'all are fucking crazy. You can't put together signs and everything. Cognition, no, that damn toys. It is a conclusion. And you'll say this with the harmonic mind, because the being in you is worldly. The being in you got kicked out of heaven in the middle 1800s. Sorry. And that's the thing. If you can't challenge a being in you that's created generationally from a reset, we can get in any fucking avenue you want to. But remember, I don't have billions of followers and views and all that. So don't listen to him, his videos. And that's the thing is the more that I look stupid, because it is controlled, the more I look stupid and I don't try to fucking go crazy, then the longer I'll have liberty. But it's the truth. God damn, I get on a rant. But I mean, it's the truth. I love you.